Hey everyone, welcome back to the Not Just Politics podcast. The following is a conversation with Marc Palombo and Trevor Fitzsimmons. Marc Palombo is the president of the Student Government Association at Point Park University, and Trevor Fitzsimmons is the vice president of the Student Government Association at Point Park. We sat down to catch up and to update Point Park students on mental health initiatives, Wi-Fi issues, food service, access to the Adobe Creative Suite, and plans for the spring semester of 2024. I really appreciate Marc and Trevor's time. They're good friends of the show, and I always enjoy talking to them. I hope you enjoy this episode. Yeah.
President, I feel pretty...
Well, there we go.
Do you want to start?
Yeah, I think we're ready to go here. SGA,
Yes.
Student Government Association of Point Park University. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Carson.
Welcome back, I guess. It's not like people know who you guys are.
I know.
Or at least they can scroll back and see that you've been on before, you know.
True.
It would be, yeah, we can try it out. Yeah. So that's actually a thing. If you want to do like with the Google Doc, I don't have super extensive questions written out, to be honest. We're just going to catch up. We're just going to catch up.
So much to say, to be honest. So do you, right, Trevor? We've done so much in the last semester and learned so much. Like, from what I planned and what I told you I was going to do, everything's still in the works. Some things have been successful. Some things haven't been successful. And there are clear-cut reasons why. And, we can get into that.
We can. Well, thank you guys for coming back on. You guys are really busy, so I appreciate you giving us your time today.
Of course.
What's
the Not Just Politics podcast?
I mean,
one of my favorite podcasts, except for the SGA podcast, of course. Just got to mention that.
No,
you guys did inspire me to want to start that.
Well, that's great. I appreciate hearing that.
We haven't got you guys on, but I want you both on.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
We'd be down.
See
we'd be down
behind the scenes.
Sure.
In front of the camera.
You'll have to. We'll have to set that up. No, the funniest
funny
thing
is we had one and then it just died.
We did. I went on the SGA podcast and file got corrupted. It happens.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? But the funny thing
I forgot about that.
it did. Yeah, it did.
Just corrupted. It corrupted my mind, and I just forgot about it.
Yeah, it corrupted your mind. The funny thing was whenever I moderated the debates last year, which I'd be down to do again. It was kind of fun.
Yeah, we're probably gonna start reaching out soon to do that. Because we're kind of gearing up for the spring elections.
Word.
Yeah.
The funny thing is that one of my questions for moderating the debate was, "What's your favorite podcast?" Just to get a cheap plug.
The Not Just Politics podcast.
Did we both say that?
Everyone said it.
Did Frankie said it too?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Everyone said it. It was just my opportunity at a cheap plug. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
We gotta monetize stuff out here. We gotta make money.
Well, here, while we're talking about cheap plugs, Point Park SGA has a YouTube channel.
Yes, they do.
Search up Point Park SGA. We have almost 30 subscribers, over 30,000 views.
You guys over 30,000 views?
Yeah, all over shorts. Swear to God.
Oh, just from
shorts have really blown it up, and then you could see.
I mean,
we had a podcast with Dean Gieske.
Yeah.
And the shorts that we made for that went crazy. There was 3,000 views, 5,000 views here, mostly on YouTube. So we don't have our podcast on Spotify, traditional platforms. We just said we already are doing so much. Let's just put it on YouTube.
Yeah, just go
watch
YouTube
it right
now. Yeah. So
and the thank God the shorts are going viral on there. So it's really nice.
Yeah, that's our next plan. The episode that we have dropping tomorrow was a 2-hour and 50-minute podcast. Yeah, but I want to make clips of that one. I just haven't. It's just okay. I mean, okay. I have time to make shorts, but it's procrastination and just I get distracted and don't sit down and actually.
Let's talk about that.
But over the break, we're gonna do it.
Yeah, let's talk about that though, because what's fascinating to me is this whole. I think you all talked about it before on the podcast, but this whole AI thing.
Yeah.
I am not ashamed of using AI for creating my podcast clips. Boba usually does it, our communications director, but he was also busy. So I use one of these caption sites, and I purchased a simple a test run, a trial run, and they created it seamlessly. It was extremely simple.
Yeah.
It took the whole podcast and clipped it into 15 different clips, and then it told me what each clip, how many views it was going to get, and it was pretty accurate.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, that the fact that it can tell you how many views
that
it's
is
gonna get,
insane
that's
to
too
me.
much. I've always, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I'd be. I don't think I'm opposed to using AI to make clips. I do kind of want to do it on my own for a little bit.
Oh yeah,
just to see what it's like, just to figure it out.
I
But
hear you because I actually do video editing. Like
Yeah.
that was like my side job and kind of still is. I do it on Fiverr. So like I have clients who
Yeah.
who like try and use my skills. So there is a point where it's like, yeah, I get it. Don't take my job. Don't take those jobs away. And also, if you're doing it yourself, there's also that ownership of it. You know that for sure.
Yeah.
And like how you want it done.
Mhm.
At least for me, I had a YouTube channel for a long time, and what happened was you don't want to give up that control, but it's not only that control, it's that creativity. That's the creative mind that you don't want to give up to like someone else, or it's hard to explain your vision to someone else.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Have we really talked about that, like using AI to make clips? I don't really. We never really talked about that. I don't know. That's a bridge we'll cross when we get there. You
Yeah.
know, but we're trying to make like. We have some little projects we have planned for over break. You know, the work list is always huge. For me in my head, I'm always like,
hear
oh, 15 things on the work list in 1 month. We can get it done. And then break just, I mean, winter break truly is just a blink. It's quick. And then you're back at school. Back here, slowly being driven insane. And that's how it goes. It's what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so that's cool. I do want to get. I want to get Dean Gieske on here. I want to get Dean Palo. I want to get some of those other people. I want to get all of the Point Park people on here.
Yeah, you know what would be really crazy if you'd have a round table. You know how they do those actors.
Oh,
table?
that would be fire.
And doing that with like all of the leaders of Point Park, or at least like a couple, maybe doing like 6 at a time or something, or 5 at a time. You know how they do
Sure,
those actor
yeah.
conversations? I think that would be.
I'd need a lot of mics. I need more mics.
I would do like I wouldn't do it here.
Oh, you do like lav mics? No, I was thinking I have
Yeah.
my own mics that have like a tabletop,
I would do it in like
Stand.
a conference room.
like in the fishbowl.
Yeah, I mean that's a little big, and honestly, I don't think like the audio would be too good in there. I mean,
Uh,
potentially, I would say like a regular conference room. You know, like
Oh,
701
the one
in
in
student center.
yeah, the one.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking the one in Lawrence Hall. That
Yeah.
little that
Yeah.
the one where we plotted to take over the university.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We all plotted together.
Oh, I forgot about
Were you
your
there,
plan.
Trevor? Or was it just me, you, and Gavin? I think you were. Was Trevor there? No, Christian was there.
Yeah.
Christian was there, and we plotted to take over Point Park.
I forgot about your whole plan.
I
Your
mean, I
diabolical
had a
plan to
whole,
destroy-
I had a whole absolutely devious plan to like
Very
take over,
devious.
take over the university and start gaslighting people into thinking that the moldy cheeseburgers in the dining hall is actually a good thing.
Of course.
But
Yeah.
that-
Did you talk to Colin about that?
No.
I just met.
But when
Christy.
Brusalis comes on here,
Yeah.
that'll be my pitch.
Yeah, I just met Christy the other last week, and she actually came to our legislative body meeting, and we had a good conversation. And if anyone's interested in seeing that conversation on our YouTube channel as well, we have the whole video there too.
Because you guys broadcast all of your, you record
do.
all your
Yes.
meetings now.
This year we
thank
just
you
started.
for being there, especially Nick Kanapka.
Yes.
Who's usually there.
Who else is there? Is it mainly just Nick?
It's mainly just Nick.
Yeah,
Sometimes
Okay.
we send someone else, but
Gotcha.
99% of the time, Nick Kanapka's there. So.
Yeah, well, shout out to him. I wanted to do a podcast with him, but he's graduating. I didn't get a chance.
You know, I would still try and find.
For,
some time
I
because
know.
Nick
I'm gonna
is
try
just-
to. He's a
what
really
an
good
interesting
dude.
character.
He
Like,
is.
a really good guy, down to earth, funny.
A killer Biden impression.
Oh, killer!
Hilarious Biden. His Biden
That
is
short or that they made
Yes.
was so funny. I think I watched it like 8 times. Biden blast.
No, seriously, his Biden is really funny. We talked about doing a late night snooze skit
Yeah.
that was going to be a Biden Trump debate with me and Nick, and it was going to be in the
that's hilarious.
fishbowl, live audience, cameras, everything. My opponent's gay. No, I'm kidding. It's whatever.
A lot of people here. A lot of people.
That Shane Gillis bit is so funny.
should-
I know, right? Oh
Gets
my
me
God.
gets me every time.
It's
But
so
anyway,
good. It's like the breathe in.
yeah. Well, shout out to you for that. Well, that's really cool. And I'm glad. And you guys are also working on a website.
Yeah, our website is completely live right now. So
It is?
We
Okay.
we wanted to fix some transparency issues that we've had in the past. Go, a lot of clubs were like, you know what, this is unfair. They're getting this amount of money and we're getting this. Why is that happening? So, on top of just having open committee meetings where you can come to, and we have that listed public outside of our office. But you can also go to our website at sga.pointpark.edu. And when you go there, you can see full transparency. Everything that we're working on, the projects are, every member, every senator that was elected in there, all of our executive cabinet members, all of our office hours, as well as all of our finances. You will see fall 1, fall 2, spring 1, spring 2, what we allocated this year, what we allocated last year and the year prior, and that will continue to go on for the years to come.
And there's a tab that you can go to see how much money I've bought out SGA into protecting my show from anything that I say. So you can go on there and you can see all the money I've given to Marc and
This
Trevor.
is our biggest donor.
And I'm their biggest donor. I've actually funded SGA, so that's how and I've told people this. I'm very transparent about. Listen, I'm taking over Point Park, and I love the transparency message you guys have. So I'm being very transparent. I'm going to tell you exactly. I'm going to start taking over the university by buying all of you out.
Yes.
So you can go see how much money I
take
paid to
much.
them. It doesn't take much. I just covered the rest of their tuition. A couple.
Actually, that's a lot. That might take a lot.
A couple of flex dollars for the cafe, so you can go buy an $8 pack of Oreos. And so you can see that on the website. Well, that's great that you guys have that on the website. I appreciate the transparency.
Of course. Absolutely. We must have all of our corporate donors on there. So thank you to Carson Braun for making us bought and paid for.
It's not even anonymous. It has my name. the plugs the podcast link tree is like on there too.
Your viewers know you probably so well at this point.
I don't know who they are.
You don't know?
I've always said this. Like it's kind of.
I think you have a lot of silent viewers because at this level of a podcast, like a university type level, I feel like you have more listeners than you think.
I don't. I think so because I run into some people like, oh, I listen to a podcast.
I watch it all the time. I don't comment.
That's okay.
But I'm telling you though, that's what I'm saying.
I know people need people.
You have a lot
comment.
of silent viewers.
Sure.
So I think that's interesting.
It is interesting. Well, at least now that they know that I bought you guys out.
Yeah, of course.
That's important for me. Like
Trevor, you
for
have
everyone.
any thoughts on that?
Yeah, we haven't heard from Trevor so far. Trevor,
no, yeah, Trevor, please.
Transparency there, yeah. Accurate statements, like.
yeah. I'm all for. Listen. I'm all for transparency. I'm a transparent, donor to SGA. Of course, sure. and then that allows me. I'm gonna walk into Ledge. I'm just gonna start taking over Ledge Body meetings. I'm gonna start coming up with proposals. I really should start.
You really should, especially whenever we have our guests there.
They're on Mondays.
I would love. Yeah, they're Mondays at
3:15. Most of them are in Lawrence Hall.
I work at 4 o'clock. I work at 4 on Mondays.
Where?
It's like at Condada, so I could be there for like 15 minutes. Half hour maybe.
Anything helps because
book it over
when
there.
we have people like Christy there for culinary, or we have Tim Wilson in the IT department, our senators have been really, really good this year, and I think you can attest to this, Trevor, that they have been more vocal than ever before.
Yeah.
I asked them to extend if they wanted to. I timed the guest speakers now because Tim Wilson spoke for like an hour at one of our meetings, and people were like tired at the end of it. So I give our speakers 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And at the end of the 30 minutes, I asked the legislative body, do we want to extend time? And via unanimous consent, they all extended about an hour more to Chrissy.
Yeah, I've never seen that happen before. I think that just goes to the new students that we have, even like the upperclassmen, the newer upperclassmen senators that we have. It just shows that they're interested. Yeah. They're really passionate about it. So it really takes the burden off of leadership, like people like us, to say, we don't have to do everything and we can get more stuff done.
Yeah.
Like our treasurer, MC Carter, I got to give a shout out to you, MC. She is the best treasurer SGA, I think, has almost ever had before. And she is new to SGA. I picked her out last year because I know she is a math minor, and I also know her because we're the same major.
Yeah.
We had virtually zero concerns or complaints and zero appeals for funding because of how the funding processes went this year. Yes, we had a couple issues here and there, but everyone understood and complied with our guidelines, and they got the funds that they needed for their organization and for their organization. So,
yeah,
I mean, I cannot say more good things because whenever that's taken care of, then we're able to do our job on actually getting stuff done. Because we're like, I hate that we are considered sometimes just giving money to clubs, giving money to organizations. That is really not something that we represent.
That's almost inaccurate.
Yeah.
one could say.
It's just a
Sure.
part of us.
Yeah, it's a function of the institution of student government, but it's
Well,
But
it's
it's the one
because
that
you
people
haven't seen us do other things. That's why,
Exactly.
so when you see us
Yeah.
do nothing, then yeah, we just give clubs money.
yeah.
But if you actually see that we have an initiative, we have a plan, we have a schedule planned out on how we're going to get these things done, then we become the student government that we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
if you agree with that.
Yeah, like we have all of our initiatives written on a giant whiteboard in our office, and student 717. Anyone's welcome to come up to that office. We usually try and keep an open door policy. But yeah, we have all our initiatives there on the board right outside the office. We have things that we're working on. We release our monthly reports. So we're being very vocal with the student body and very transparent in what we're trying to accomplish here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I'm glad that you guys have a lot more senators this year, because I know for a while there it was a small crowd.
3 or 4.
Yeah, small group.
And then
yeah.
and then we didn't even have our full. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nanita Grun last year. She did basically
Yeah, she did a lot. She did do a lot.
She
of
was
stuff.
vice president, chief of staff, president pro temp.
You could say she was president. Too.
Yeah, she
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
she was the one.
Parliamentarian.
Yeah. It's nothing against Kendra. It's just that
Nina
how
just
things
does so much.
Yeah, and how things were run last year was just embarrassing to say the very least.
Yeah.
It's sad that whenever I came in with Trevor, we really sat down and we talked about how do we change. We talked about culture too. Like how do we change and motivate people to actually want to do something for no money.
That's the most important. That's the most important part, because there are a lot of people here that are very talented that can make the time to help out. But there's a weird stigma around SGA. It's like you said, like people just view it as giving money to clubs. Not even to my club. I can't even take funding.
I know, yeah. And
What are you gonna do?
I think we changed a lot of that stigma this year.
Yeah, I think so too.
Just with how everyone has been reacting to our changes. And I've invited people up. Like we said, we have an open door policy. Anyone is welcome to come up there.
Yep.
And we have senators over there all the time. Like there's always someone in that room, which has never happened before.
I don't visit you guys enough.
Yeah, you
I
got.
really should come up there more.
If you're in the
At one
city
point, there were clubs trying to take our office. They were like, no one's up here. No one's doing anything in this office.
They were like, "Can we use your office?"
Clubs wanted to.
They wanted it to
use
be
the
their office
because we weren't using it in the past.
It was
we
always
have,
dark.
We have
no one was
membership
in there.
Yeah, we do.
So like a lot of things have really turned around for the better, and I mean I couldn't be more grateful for the people who decided to run and allowing us to kind of push for the initiatives and the goals that we think really what the students think are the best for the university.
Yeah. Sorry, keep going. I'm adjusting
good.
my mic here.
You're good.
I will say with take example of students being more interested in student government, even students that aren't in student government. I noticed there were like maybe 2-3 students in the gallery at our last legislative body meeting when we had Chrissy and head chef Todd there. To see that people are publicly attending our meetings and trying to stay informed is reassuring, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, more people need
Yeah,
to
that
more
really
people need to be involved in stuff like that. There needs to be more. I've said this 1,000 times. There needs to be more community initiatives on campus done by students, because the university can only do so much. There are a lot of people at Point Park that are overworked and underpaid, a lot of them. So
Damn right.
students doing what they can to build community, I think, is really important. And so I have always appreciated that. I should visit you guys more often. Maybe I should bring my executive board and we could just take over the SGA office for a week. You could just let me step in. I'll give you guys a break.
I mean, if you want to keep paying us, then fine. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
No, see, you don't understand. These are the terms of
I thought we were bought by
our deal.
So-
You
so
are
if-
bought
if
by.
if I'm taking your money, then
You are, but eventually I just replace you.
Oh, is that how that works?
Exactly. Yeah, of course.
So what's the point of an election?
The people have to have a democratic exactly.
Carson Brunn was
Exactly.
elected as
You
president of the
know-
university. Chris, watch it. He's coming for you.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna. I have a long future with Point Park, so I've got to work with him. But
I'm graduating.
that's how this goes,
I'm
right?
outta here.
If voting did anything, they wouldn't let the people do it, right? but the voting does nothing. So we'll let them vote, and I'll just be. And so eventually I replace you, and that's how my takeover really starts.
I see.
Yeah. So enjoy your office while you have it, Mark and
All
Trevor.
right, hey.
We will.
Eventually, this whole thing is going to come back to me. It is going to come
Whenever you have
back.
President Brusalis on, he's gonna be like, I've been watching your podcasts. And
Exactly what I said. I was
what
like,
is going on? I mean, come on. I mean, this is the most dynamic urban university in America.
you know what I said? I was like, wouldn't it be hilarious if he brought receipts? If he had, like,
yeah, like the timeline, like the timestamps.
yeah, the episode.
Pull this up. Where's the TV you used to have? Open up Twitter.
He walks in and hands.
56. You said this.
He walks in.
How do you
and
defend
hands
yourself?
Gavin a piece of paper with timestamps of all of our episodes. Pull these up. He just flames me on my own show, kicks me out of here.
How do you respond to that, Mr. Bro?
Oh man.
I think I would just have to own up to it. I'd have to just lean into it more. I'd be like, you know what? And I'd do it again. And that's why you need someone like me on your team. So I'll do what needs to be done. Oh my gosh, that'd be so funny. It's like in the old where they just take me out. It's like a mob war just breaks out at Point Park, and it's just warring factions of people trying to take over the,
Yeah.
that's a whole thing. All right, well, now let's get it, because we actually brought him up like 15 times.
Yeah.
Have you guys had a chance to meet the new prez?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
You want to talk about it?
Number of times, yeah.
Yeah.
We have a pretty good working relationship with President Brusalis. We meet with him bi-weekly every 2 weeks.
Really?
An hour.
Thursdays, yeah.
We have a
Wow.
whole hour
An
with him
hour.
every 2 weeks.
That's great.
But yeah, I feel like he's pretty open to our ideas, and he listens to what we say in our meetings. So I feel like we have a good relationship with the president.
Yeah, and I can't speak for the other presidents because whenever I was in SGA, I've been SGA all my 4 years. I did not really get to meet the other presidents really in depth. But as for Brusalis, and from my knowledge, I can see that he really takes time to think about what you just said to him and actually thinks about it. It's not just it's fascinating because we all keep saying he's a new president right now, but I think that's really refreshing. Because Paul Hennigan was here for 14, 15 years, and I'm nothing about Paul, nothing wrong about Hennigan, some things, but as for Brusalis, he really takes in what you're trying to say. If you bring up an initiative, you bring up an idea, you bring up a concern, a student concern, you say, hey, look, this is what's happening. He'll think it over. Now, how he thinks it over, he's a businessman. It's all about
I mean that's the thing is that's just the
nature of
reality.
position.
Correct.
It doesn't matter who you're going to have.
Yeah.
That's the nature of the position.
It's the nature of the position and the nature of him. So when
It's also
people,
how the university is run. It's run like
that's
a business.
that's also in
which
my
is
opinion,
a concern in itself.
Yeah, I mean that's an unfortunate reality in my opinion. But that's what I've thought. Is I've seen a lot of criticisms of this guy. I've seen a lot of people throwing around rumors that have no evidence. They just kind of have fun, which I'm okay with. If you're just gonna have fun and be like, he's aliens or whatever, however crazy, go have fun. But it's you can't just. Everyone thinks that presidents at Point Park embezzle money. I made the joke that according to Point Park students, in their eyes, the position of the president is just a guy that embezzles money from the university because everyone's accused every president of doing it. They accused Paul Hennigan of doing it. They accused Don Green of doing it. And now they're like, I bet Brusalis is embezzling money. It's where's the evidence? They don't have any. They don't have any.
I mean, look.
They have none.
I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, you hear those things all the time. Obviously, there's no actual actual evidence.
My first question is where's the evidence? They're like, and I'm like, okay, so we're just having fun.
Yeah, I mean,
a little
that's
bit, I
different.
guess.
That's different.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
there is a distinction, I think, though, between creating those narratives and that false information, whether it's Brusalis or anyone, and kind of saying that and that line of having fun. And the line of okay, this is becoming propaganda. This is becoming This is becoming okay, you're saying this so much that people will believe it one way or another. It's like headlines. You read the headlines from the Globe. You look at that front page of the Globe last week. You see a moldy piece of bread. Oh, I'm not eating at Point Park University.
It was actually
that's
a
what it
pretty
looks
good
like.
article from what I understand, but
And-
the picture was just moldy bread.
And I'm not saying that wasn't bad. That is a real concern. That is, if the cafe was, if the dining hall was serving moldy bread, that is a real concern. But is that actually representative of the entire cafe staff and all of the food? I don't know, right?
I don't know
I
if
think
it's
there's a give and take.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I get where you're coming from, but to be fair, this is not the first time that the Globe has reported moldy food from the dining hall.
Sure.
And that's a problem. Like, students are paying too much
Yeah.
money, to be frank. When students are paying that much money to come to this university, that cannot happen.
Absolutely,
You
yeah.
cannot
We've been having these conversations with Christian. So,
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's not something that we're just blowing over the rug too. Our senators
Yeah.
even brought up, like, how are you actually like maintaining sanitary needs in the dining
Yeah.
hall, especially like sometimes. I mean, I don't know if it's on the students' end or just their end, or they just have to do a better job in cleaning up those facilities. But whenever you go to throw your waste away, sometimes that area is a mess. Like throwing your waste away in the dining hall. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I haven't been in a while, but
Yeah, I would assume because I met Chef Todd. He's
he
our
came-
new executive
yeah.
chef, and I mean they mean well. Like they want.
I bet
to
they
it.
do.
The fact that he came to our legislative body meeting says something in it of itself.
Agreed.
He was there. He didn't really speak much, but like he was writing stuff down that students were like concerned about, or some students had ideas for food. He was writing that down. It seems like he really has an interest in providing quality food at Point Park, and I feel like, at least in his time as head chef, it's taken a huge step forward. Now there are improvements that do need to be made, and those come gradually, but I feel like we're moving in the right direction.
Well, that's good. And going back to what you brought up before, I do think it is good that Brisalis is meeting with you guys bi-weekly. I think it's good that he's
it helps
actually
us get all
listening.
of our initiatives done. It really does.
I agree, and I think the one thing that I've appreciated about him, I've met him a couple times. I hope to interact with him more. Things have actually started changing. Like, things are actually different, and he's only been here for a very short amount of time. So it does. I've always kind of questioned how much ability the president actually has to change stuff. But it seems like from
lot.
so far it seems like he actually does have the ability to change some things, and he actually has been doing that. So I've always appreciated that. And I know a lot of people that aren't super fond of him.
And
I don't even think
That's
they've.
fine. They can have their own opinion.
Of course, but I also don't think they've never like met the guy. I think there's a lot of people that have gotten their impressions of him based on those sort of rumors and things that are floating around the university.
Yeah.
But he seems like a nice guy. When I've met him, he seems like a good guy. He seems like he
Yeah,
cares.
I think he means well. He definitely cares about the university for sure. It's all about the approach, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what approach do you take to the university? His approach is a little bit more, business oriented, I would say.
Yeah.
And I mean, that is what it is.
Yeah, it's a business.
Like I said, even though like the universities run like a business, from my perspective, and I don't know, you could talk about this too, Trevor. I personally think it's a very steep hill that we're going to fall off of in the next 10 years or so. Because if we keep considering students customers, and I mean Dean Gieskeby told me all about this, that the students were asking, like the students and the parents were asking, where are the customers? We're paying this much to be here. That mindset was changed, and that was weird for the administration to like grapple. So then they started calling them customers. So I wasn't aware of this.
Yeah, that's a
'cause he's
crazy
saying
mindset to
parents.
have. Well, first of all, a parent saying that my kid's a customer, or that I'm a
I
customer.
mean, this is what Dean Gieskeby
God
told me.
bless
He's been
America.
in student life for, I don't know, 10, 15 years or something like that, 17 years. So
That's
yeah.
really something.
I don't know if you wanted to speak on that, Trevor, but yeah.
But yeah, they. I have seen a shift, but I still feel like, okay, if the university is going to see us as customers, what about the saying that the customer's always right? What about trying to satisfy your customers?
And to that point too, I have to bring this up. It's been on my mind, and it's actually kind of, I think, the crux of all of these issues, Carson.
Mm-hmm.
It's that whenever we deal with university administration,
Mm-hmm.
I think they have a difficult time distributing constructive criticism and then negativity.
Mm.
Like, just because we are trying to work towards something to better the students that does not mean we are attacking you. That does not mean
Yeah.
we are trying to bring negativity to you. Like, we are just trying to be constructive. And I think that is a huge disconnect whenever you talk about a business. Businesses are supposed to be, cookie cutter. We're supposed to look perfect. Paul Hennigan at the time said, like, no hot cards on the tables. We have to look like a professional university, professional business.
He actually said that. No hot cards.
On table?
Well, I'm not quoting him, but I know that he wasn't a big fan of like all of the cards around because it looked like it made the university look unprofessional. Brusalis is different. Brusalis is more lenient and I think just really cares more about engagement than anything. So if hot cards are getting people to events and getting people to show up, in certain areas and getting engagement, I think that's really what he cares about. I'm not going to speak for him, but Yeah,
I think that is a reasonable approach for a university. It's not going to be business. If I walked through a university and there were no hot cards anywhere, there were no flyers, I'd be like, do people do stuff here?
Life on this
Is
campus?
there life on this campus?
Mhm.
I think I think it should be all about community engagement. Like, that should be the goal with students, like getting them out to do stuff with other students. It gives you a sense of community. So yeah, I could see how people get bothered by that, but
it's all about your approach, Carson. I mean,
It is.
It all depends on how much money you have, how much money can we put here, and then what can we do to better the students' needs? And hopefully that's on most, if not all, of the university's minds, because we are either the customer in their mind, but I still prefer that way of being a student and in being that. And there's a fine line between mentoring and that educational aspect in business, and it's been so skewed. And
that
it's
is
so confusing now that I don't even know what to make of it, to be completely honest.
Yeah, that's tricky because I do think it is kind of concerning that it's run like a business, because it's not a business. It's a place that it is a business,
But
and
you're
then
right.
maybe it
I
should
know.
be
I
run.
mean, it
It's
is
so
a private
weird,
institution,
right?
but it's still a non-profit institution.
Yeah, it is.
Doesn't feel that way sometimes.
Yeah, it doesn't. I was gonna say I've looked at some charts that show me otherwise, but what are you gonna do?
Charts.
Um,
The charts.
yeah, put up the charts. I have the best
graphics,
charts.
the data.
Listen, here's the thing. Sometimes my friends egg it out of me. Like,
Oh, really?
sometimes they want Trump to come out, and I'm like, he comes out sometimes, and I just don't know when it's gonna happen. But sometimes
Out
they'll,
of people.
sometimes they egg me on, and they're like, do Trump, and I'm like, you guys can't, because I'll go on all day about this. I'll just start publicly attacking people,
Yeah,
and
I just saw the Mystery of Edwin Drood last night, the show that's at the Playhouse currently.
I'm going to get tickets.
It's awesome, and
Good.
I just walked out of there saying, "Blimey, come on, mate. Fancy yourself a nice fancy meal."
Is it all about British people?
It's a little bit of that.
Oh no!
Oh,
It's a
and
good
I-
show.
It's
Can
a
I
good show.
can I go? I told Miles I would be there, but I didn't know there were British people involved.
Well, they're all just putting on some nice accents, you know what I'm saying? No, I was actually in that show before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did that show in community theater back when I was a senior in high school. And,
I liked doing plays. Plays in high school were the musicals were they were cool, but the plays were the most fun.
Yeah.
I had fun with the plays. Yeah, they're fun. But
actually
I
didn't
need to go get.
play until I went here.
I still need to get a ticket because I'm gonna try to go see. I might go tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah,
to see
there's
it.
different endings. So if you go multiple nights, it's there's 3 separate, there's 29 different endings.
29
Is it
different
a video
endings.
game? Is it different?
No, the
endings?
audience has mega participation in this. You will be
Really?
voting on it's a murder mystery. She'll be murdering on who done it and who's the murderer.
That's
who are
great.
who are the lovers and who's the detective, and you get to vote on all of these different things.
So wait a second. They have a different. So they have does the
have
script
29 different endings.
changes every time a different outcome happens?
Yeah, there's asides of different.
So that means that these actors have had to memorize.
They had to memorize
49
incredible
different
amounts of
scenarios.
stuff. I had no
One
idea.
of the hardest musicals I have ever done, and I was in the ensemble.
Why
when I did
didn't
it.
Miles tell me about that part? That's a huge. Well, not obviously I'm going to go either way. It's going to be a good show, but that's crazy. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's wild.
Wow, I'm looking forward to that now. I don't know if I'll be able to go multiple nights, but I'm going to try to go for one night.
Right, even if you can go one night and then sneak in at the end, because all of audience participation stuff's towards the second act.
Okay. Yeah, murder mysteries are fun. We
Yeah.
did a murder mystery
I
my
might
sophomore
do
year.
that
It was
same
fun.
thing tonight. I would love to see it again. Yeah.
Okay, I want to talk to you guys about this. Let's get an update on the Wi-Fi situation
Let's
because
do
I
it.
still have yet to use it this semester. I didn't use it a single time.
Did you try to connect?
I did.
Okay,
It didn't
what
work. It didn't work. I tried connecting like 20 times over the course of the like spread out. It still doesn't work on my laptop.
Yeah.
Or on my phone. My laptop it works for some reason. My phone it doesn't.
Yeah, I'll speak on this. I have been. This has been kind of my passion project issue this entire semester, and
Yeah,
Trevor can attest. Like the Wi-Fi has been like something I have been extremely passionate about, and I've been working with Tim Wilson. If you don't know who Tim Wilson is, viewers, he is the head of the IT department here at Point Park University, and we've had several meetings on how to go about. You know, I conducted the survey with him a little bit, and we got the results, and there's two sides to the Wi-Fi issue, okay, Carson?
Yeah.
There's the educational side of things, where the Wi-Fi actually does work in some areas, but students don't know how to connect to it, or it's not staying connected in certain devices, or even if you live in certain areas, like your other devices, like your Roku, your Apple TV, or stuff like that.
PlayStation, the
So
console.
there's the educational side of things, which like people and even faculty need to be, addressing. That needs to be addressed. And then there's the actual Wi-Fi problem, where like there is dead spots on campus. We have a new Wi-Fi system, great. It's robust, great. That's what he said. But if it's not working still, or in certain areas, if it's not just dead spots, I think there's a disconnect when I talk to him sometimes on. He keeps saying it's a robust system. Great, I understand that.
How is it a robust system?
Well, it's a new
What
system.
evidence do you have that it's robust?
So, this is what I'm wondering. Like, are there still dead spots?
Absolutely. In the survey that we conducted, I'm a little fed up over it, to be completely honest. In the survey we conducted, there was 36 spots of dead spots that we found like of specific locations, okay? And I have still yet to finalize a plan to go about how to address these with him. I'm really fed up over it, to be completely honest. I mean, it feels like I'm being waited out until I'm gone, and then the SGA restarts.
I'm not even kidding. I'll just pick it up. I'll be like, Point Park, I can't record my freaking podcast. And I'm so nice to you all the time. I say nothing but good things about this university, obviously. So I should.
I gotta say though, I liked Tim. Tim is a good person. Like he's a genuinely good person. I got to meet him, but I don't think this is at the top of his priority list. Like he's working on other things, and I have put this to make. I've made this a priority.
Yeah,
and the fact that our survey has not been addressed a month and a half later is an issue that is not. This should not be taken lightly.
Agreed.
And what else that
proposed to do another survey, like discounting ours?
Well, not exactly. He didn't discount it, but he did want to do another survey. And I'm not completely opposed to that, but I want to get something tangibly done. Like, all right, you looked at that survey, install the access points that were on that survey in those areas. Access points, if you don't know, are like they're also called hospitality points. They're the same things that are in hotel rooms, and that extends Wi-Fi to your hotel room, so you will have good adequate Wi-Fi, and that has helped in certain areas around campus. So now here's the other issue of the areas with no access points that are actual dead spots, but also areas with access points, and even offices like the sale office that have built-in Ethernets, so they're hardwired in, and they're still having issues. So it is more than just that. Yes,
people with Ethernet connection are still having Wi-Fi issues.
Yes, and I don't know how. I don't know exactly like the crux of it, but without,
you know what I say about that? You got Point pranked. You got pranked. Ethernet
system.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know, but it's an issue I see all the time. You have to like walk out and then go out in the hallway and then come back in your office. It's unacceptable.
Yeah, I mean that
really
part is
higher education. Wi-Fi should not be an issue.
Yeah, that also cannot be happening with the amount of money because, like, honestly, this is students' ability to get homework done, turn in projects,
everything.
Google.
You cannot
even
do anything without Wi-Fi. I'm actually extremely fed up over it.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like me. I'd be frustrated
too. Entire semester working on this, and like finally we have some movement. I'm meeting with him and his engineer, and we're walking around these spaces to test them. However, I'm still gathering data with him to be able to find things, but it's so slow. I have to be completely honest. It's too slow. It's actually.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Again, I haven't met him. I'm sure he's a good guy. I'm sure he's well intentioned.
Yeah, he is.
Obviously. But do you think he knows? Like, do he know how to solve this problem? Are the access points even going to work? I'm just wondering. Like,
at the beginning of the year, I met with him and I said, "What do you need from SGA? We'll help you. Let's do this collaboratively." I didn't want to go, behind his back and just put out a survey and kind of go up to him like, "Hey, I demand you do this." I wanted to work with him. I wanted to actually develop a relationship with him, and I think we did.
Mm-hmm.
But the aftermath of that survey has been nothing. He said we're working on configuration things. But I have seen truly nothing, and to be honest, I still get student concerns literally every single day, and faculty concerns and administration concerns from every single level. It is actually mind-boggling to me. So I am just fed up over waiting on this issue, and something will happen. I kid you not. If you have me back or whatnot, or maybe this is the last podcast I'm on, something will be
This is not the
addressed.
last podcast you will be on.
Something will be addressed for this issue. I promise you. Okay? Because I've put too many hours, so have you, Trevor, and so has SGA in working towards this. So.
I will say I did talk with I had a one-on-one with one of our advisors today, and I brought up the idea of maybe proposing a standing resolution to the legislative body. So I'll probably talk to Amy about that at least, just so we can have something on paper.
What's the standing resolution for?
Like just saying that it's our opinion that changes need to be made to fix the Wi-Fi, so something along those lines.
Okay.
Yeah, just get something.
Something.
I'll sign a petition.
On paper,
I don't
on
care.
the record that says,
yeah,
this is the opinion of SGA that we want to do this.
What do I got to do? Put the Not Just Politics podcast on there.
And I will say here,
the biggest SGA donor.
I have been a little, I could say a little harsh right now on the Wi-Fi issue, but for a good reason. I will say the one good thing that has come out so far about it is we have finally confirmed that we are getting SGA has got a IT work study position created. And that is hopefully going up soon. So if anyone is interested in watching this podcast that is interested in IT, interested in social media, because it's going to be a marketing position really. And it's going to help with these educational issues, meaning creating videos, putting them in the knowledge base. So now not only you can read text for completing and solving your issues, but also you can watch a video.
Yeah, watching videos is going to be
say,
good.
hey, you know what? This is exactly what you have to do to connect your phone, your Mac, your tablet, your device to the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's going to be huge. So anyone who wants to work for Point Park,
it's $12 an hour. It's not the best, but it is what it is.
It's something.
A work study position. It is something, and the duties and responsibilities will be configured between SGA and IT. It's a collaborative effort, so we're actually developing the position in real time.
Nice.
So if anyone's interested, you can contact SGA at pointpark.edu, and you can email us. We would love to hear from you, and we'll be conducting interviews in the next probably when we get back from spring.
So that position, they're kind of like a content creator. It's kind of what I'm hearing.
Yes.
You're kind of like a TikToker that helps people get their Wi-Fi up.
It's not just Wi-Fi, but it'll be like camera things for like if the camera's like giving you issues for like Zoom in like the certain rooms that you're having.
Oh,
So
interesting.
It'll be larger than just video. Like there'll be more articles created. We have a knowledge base.
Yeah.
Did you know that? We have a Point Park IT knowledge base.
I did not know
It's
that.
not super robust, but it has some articles on it that are popular and they are used most of the time. And I assume whenever, whenever tickets get sent in, these articles get sent to people to read, to look over, so they can actually, the help desk people save time, but also they can just read it over.
Yeah.
On those articles, hopefully through this position, those videos will be added, and we'll also
That'll be good.
be extending it not just for videos, but other ways to educate people, more IT news bite letters, like just more overall. I just think the IT department has been lacking heavily, and maybe other departments as well, we can say, on marketing.
Yeah. Oh, on marketing for sure. Yeah. I mean, I feel like a lot of. Have you looked at Point Park's TikTok page, by the way?
Every once in a while I do.
It's like my favorite. There's like not a single. I didn't see a single TikTok on like come by UView and check out the experience you can get. It's like holiday trends.
Mhm.
It's like
Yeah. The marketing team is really, really great. I've gotten to work with them quite a bit, and I mean it's been nice to collaborate with them, because if I ask them for something and say, hey, I'm doing this event, you want to help me? You want to help me with it? And they said, yeah, absolutely.
let's make a TikTok.
Yeah.
Should we start making? We should start making TikToks here. Honestly,
Let's do it. Let's do it right now.
we should just start making TikToks live on the.
pull out your phone, Carson. Let's
What?
make it right now.
Put it on the SGA TikTok.
I am Mr. Anti-TikTok. I do not like TikTok.
Because it's a Chinese company.
Yeah,
And they're taking over the world.
because they thieve my data. But and so does
Fair enough.
Google. But Google at least
everything else.
tells me about it.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Listen, if you're gonna take, and
Trevor,
I'm just
Google
saying this
tells
right now
Carson about
because
it.
I know that TikTok is listening to this, and so is Google, and so is Bob Iger, and all these people take my data.
Hi, Bob.
If only you have to just if you tell me about it, it's fine. You have to tell me. You have to tell me that you're taking my data and who you're sending it to. But otherwise, TikTok doesn't tell me that. They just kind of sneakily.
Yeah.
They don't ask for permission. No, I don't like TikTok. I don't like TikTok because it's just. Might get in trouble for saying this. I've said it before. It's just crazy people.
Canceled.
It's just people that have gone insane. It's
Yeah,
just
I know.
the peak. TikTok is like the mecca of like unaddressed mental health problems. It's just people doing crazy dances, making noises into a phone, and then they become a millionaire. And it's like, how in the world?
I'm working my ass off, and this person's just doing dances and making money.
They're just doing like dances, making noises into a camera. They're just, I don't even know what's going on over there anymore.
Can I actually speak on that? Because
Sure.
mental health, I think, really plays a role in social media.
Big problem.
Of
yeah.
course, yeah, right?
Big problem.
And that has actually been one of our initiatives that we've been really wanting to focus on this year, but we haven't really had a complete chance this semester because of Wi-Fi, because of food, because of Adobe. We can talk about that later.
Oh gosh, yeah, we got to talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that one
Oh,
too.
yeah.
As we've been Trevor can really talk about it. But as for mental health, a close friend of mine during the summer tried to commit suicide, and he luckily survived. And it was one of the worst experiences that I ever went through.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to, and I know that it's not just him. It's not just Point Park. It's really a American, a global issue.
It's a lot of people in this country.
Yeah,
it's
and
a
I'm
lot
gonna
of
bring
people.
the mood down, but like I
here.
just want to kind of say that because mental health needs to be addressed.
Yeah, it does.
And our
100%.
University Counseling Center does well, but our psych clinic was just closed last year, which helped with giving students more opportunities.
Why was
for
it
them.
closed?
I am not sure. I really don't know, but that really did not help.
Is it coming back?
Not in the foreseeable future that I see. So
Okay.
I have a initiative that I created called the Point Park Cares Project.
Mhm.
This project is all geared towards raising money to hire a contract therapist, another contract therapist here at the university. Because right now, wait times you are only able to go to the counseling center once every 2 weeks. It's bi-weekly.
That's
So-
all you get.
So that's the
When you're going through
soonest you can
something,
do.
that's inconvenience. I speak from personal experience on that. I've been on that dark side of mental health. Like I've had days like where I need to talk to someone to wait 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a strange thing. I've always thought that. Like again, not that these, by the way, I'll tie this in. My new favorite thing to say on the show is not to get political. That's my new favorite thing to say on the show because I thought that's very fitting.
Yeah.
Not to get political, but this is a thing where I would think that a university as progressive as Point Park would have mental health on lockdown, or would at least have the ability for every student to be able to go to a counselor once a week to have those problems addressed. And it's
Well,
weird.
here's the issue, Carson. I looked at a self-study back in 2020 of Point Park self-study, and it said the assessment was made that Point Park needs to, even though it was created into a center, it was before it wasn't a center, it was something smaller, it still needs to address, and there needs to be long-term solutions for addressing this. So I talked to Cassie Moffett, who's the director of the counseling center, and we had conversations about how to go about this project. But the goal is that we're going to be raising $10,000 to hire a contract therapist in the next semester. It's a big goal for us.
That is a big goal, but I
it's
think
something that sometimes can feel unfeasible. But with what I kind of have planned out, I don't think it's going to be. One, we are creating merchandise, and that's actually almost completely finished. And if you go to our website, once again, sga.pointpark.edu, you can go to the Cares Project tab, and it will be open probably when this episode goes out.
Yeah, we'll throw the link for that website in the description.
Thank you.
I'll mark
yeah.
that down. We'll throw that in there so that people can go. And I mean, is that so? This is gonna be like a fundraiser type
Correct.
thing, raising money.
So we're going to be raising money, and whenever you purchase a shirt, 100% of that profit that is made is going directly into in-house counseling for Point Park students. So it's basically Point Park students supporting Point Park students, and we're making this very known. We're having a kickoff event on January 16th. It's not completely final, but that is like the tentative date right now, January 16th, 2024.
I want you to reach out to me for this because if I can help you promote it in any way, I would love to. Like anything, seriously, anything I can do.
Yeah, I'm getting all of the offices involved. I'm inviting the president, I'm inviting the board of trustees.
Okay,
so
great.
If anyone anyone's welcome to go, students are welcome to be there. Me and Cassie are going to be pitching to hopefully UPMC, PNC, Highmark, and inviting
big bank,
yeah,
big healthcare, big baseball.
Hey, look, if we have to, we're considering putting sponsors on our shirts if they want to, donate, because we want to raise this money somehow we can. And I know it's not feasible to raise 10 grand on just merchandise. So I'm trying to also putting a pitch deck together. Me and Cassie are going to go around and pitching to these other institutions.
That's great. How much more money do you need for not just politics to go on the shirts?
Oh gosh, what do you think?
I'd say.
What do you need?
6,500.
I don't even know. I have no clue. I'd probably just put you on there.
Well, just for a reference.
Depends how much room there is, though.
Just for it can be small. It doesn't matter. Just for
in the front.
Just for
Point Park cares, not just ball.
Front and center. Just for reference, this show has made $0. In the course of over a year, it's made $0. But I'll figure out the 6,500. We'll get the names on the shirts.
Having guests purchase to be on here. So
I gotta start.
Start charging people.
Hey, it's like before they come through that door. Hey, you got your deposit, your down payment.
We take Zelle. That's it.
Oh, Zelle. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I only use Zelle.
Interesting.
It's the only one that I use. It's the only one that's password protected.
I got banned from Venmo.
You got banned.
I got banned from Venmo.
Mark this. Why did you get banned from Venmo? We got to talk about this.
No, it's terrible. Oh God. Okay, so whenever I was a sophomore in high school.
Yeah, whenever you were a young man.
When I was a young lad, I was obviously always into acting, especially since my freshman year of high school. I actually wasn't always into it, but I actually did stage crew originally. And then I did the lighting. I was like, I want to be on stage. So then
that's exactly what I did.
Really?
I did stage crew for the first 2 years. For 6th and 7th grade, and then in 8th grade, I started doing musicals.
That's cool. I did it in 9th grade, and then 10th, 11th, 12th, I did musicals.
Go.
But I was looking for acting classes and acting teachers, and there was this one teacher named Alan Bates, and he said. He didn't say anything, but it was all online. And I should have known, but I was so naive.
That sounds like a prank.
I know, dude.
Sounds like a
he
prank.
Said, all right, for these acting classes, it'll be all online. It'll be $100, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. I'm so down. Let's do it. And I sent him $100 through Venmo, and he just ghosted me. And I'm like, no, what is going on? So I'm like, Mom, I lost $100. And she's like, well, we have to get it back. So what Venmo did was, since they gave me the $100 back, so we got a refund.
Mm-hmm.
But they took it out of their money, so they weren't allowed to take the $100 from Alan. He kept that money. They gave us a refund from their own money.
From the vault.
Yeah.
Of gold.
And then what they said was, here's your $100. You have to pay us $100 now to use our services every I'm like, so they basically banned me from using any Venmo services until I pay back $100. And guess what? I have not paid a damn penny. I made a mistake. Okay, I get it. And I tried to make other accounts, but my phone number is connected to that account.
We can spin this into some beef with you guys in Venmo. We can start a whole thing to make money. They took your account hostage is essentially what happened.
I'm suing
We'll
Venmo.
take this to the Supreme Court.
We will. Amy Coney Barrett will figure this one out for us.
That's the story.
Wow, you got bent, but I only use Zelle. But no, I won't. I'm not gonna start charging people. That's a real thing. People charge other people to come on their podcasts.
I don't.
Wait, actually,
famous people.
Joe Rogan probably charges people to be on his podcast.
I don't know if he always does. I'm sure that he has at some point, but it's
he doesn't
that
charge
to me.
Elon Musk to go
That
on
to me is crazy. It'd be funny if he charged Elon $1.
Yeah.
Like you got to pay $1.
But you know, I don't think
here.
you
It's
actually
like
charge
nothing.
them
No, I
a
don't think
lot
so.
of
It's
money.
like I've never. And again, that's the running joke that people make is like, oh, I didn't pay him enough money to come on the podcast. So like, I don't know if it's actually. I would assume that it's happened. I don't know if it happens frequently, but that's crazy to me. I would never charge any
Where's
money.
that money go? Does it just go to running the podcast?
Yeah, really.
I think it just goes to their pocket. You just pay me for my. Someone's paying me for this platform is what it would
I mean,
be.
that's what we're
Like
doing
for those
right
major
now.
podcasts,
I've
how
been
much does
paying
it cost
you
to run it?
just to.
might-
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I've been buying you out just as much as you've been buying me out.
Yeah, we actually have this like illegal cycle of money. We're
Yeah.
just laundering money.
It's like the underground Point Park market.
Exactly.
Wall
Yeah.
Street
The cartel market.
Listen. I think
The Point Park cartel market.
I think all day about starting a black market in the basement of Lawrence Hall. I think
to be a
all day about starting like an illegal
With that
gambling.
with that like, oh my gosh.
Yes,
in
I
Thayer
think-
Hall, you know what I'm talking about in the basement? Where like, you can
Yes.
open up that little like
Yes, I think
thing. Oh,
I
forget what it's called. It's
I,
that little,
I
like,
think all the
hatch.
time about that. I think all the time about starting an illegal like gambling ring. Like you remember in It's Always Sunny in Philly when Charlie becomes an underground street fighter? That's what I want to do at Point Park. Let's start settling beef.
Point Park Fight Club.
Exactly, because listen, I go on the Snapchat stories for Point Park that I've been thrown into for some reason, and I couldn't be happier because it's genuinely my favorite content on the entire internet. There's nothing better than the Point Park Snapchat stories. It is just a grieved freshman living in Lawrence Hall complaining because the laundry room has 4 inches of water in it, or because someone threw their pink lipstick in the dryer and it ruined someone's shirt. It's my favorite. So I think, and people like actually like grown adults beef with each other on Snapchat over Point Park things. And I thought we need to start settling this beef in a real way that can make us some money. So let's start an illegal underground fighting ring in the basement of Thayer.
What we used to do I don't know if it still happens, but when I was a freshman, in Thayer basement, there used to be like underground art, like theater that was being created there, and like you would go there and it would be experimental theater. Like you would go and sit and like sometimes you'd be a part of it. It would be weird shows put on, and it was super cool. The lighting would be interesting.
Like ritual sacrifices.
yeah,
They're like
they're all-
controlling the
oh, yeah.
stock market down there.
Blood sacrifice.
Yeah. This is not good.
It was
Yeah.
really, really cool though. I don't know if they do that anymore, but yeah.
I haven't heard about this experimental
Thayer
theater.
basement?
Yeah, Thayer basement. It used to happen a long time ago. I don't think it does anymore.
Well, that sounds
They
like a
used to
good.
put on like experimental theater there a lot. Like they do still like have shows there, but
Mhm.
like in the past they used to have like a lot of like experimental like not even just shows, but like workshops and like little things that like students got together and like did some stuff.
That actually sounds really cool, but that sounds like a good venue for an underground fighting ring.
I mean, hey,
Settle beef. Listen, it was my favorite. Going back to the Snapchat story, my favorite post ever was a couple days ago. It was I don't know who this person is or what grade they are. It doesn't matter. It was just a picture of their dorm, of just like a wide shot of their dorm, and the caption said, "Whoever stole my DoorDash order on Tuesday, December 5th at 8:35 p.m., I hope you get food poisoning and I hope the food is terrible." And it's like this person had at 2:45 on Tuesday, December 5th, when the sun was they had like the whole thing, like they knew exactly when it was, all for them to be like, "I hope you get food poisoning."
hey,
Someone went on a rant on the Point Park story last night by accident.
I
Really?
saw about it. I didn't see it, but I saw did they take it down?
I feel like we haven't tapped into that, Trevor. Like that's
I've
the
gotten
only
on
social
there.
media. Really?
Gavin over there got me on.
That's the new theater of theater of propaganda for
Just
us.
so I
We
can
have
see
to
what's
focus.
going
I don't
on.
even think maybe I see it. Maybe I don't really pay attention as much.
We should promote the podcast on the Snapchat.
Yeah,
stuff.
that's
we
what
should
I'm
start.
I'm like about to promote some like
Yeah,
SGA stuff on there.
that's the new theater of propaganda that we have to start tapping into. We have to our partnership. We have to start
Yeah.
getting me on. I should just start putting all of my most unhinged Point Park rants.
I think you should start
on the
posting your
Snapchat
podcast on our YouTube channel, and then we'll be posting our stuff on yours.
Yeah, and this will be a thing. There are some corporations.
said no. like I'm not.
Gavin,
interested in
this
that
is-
at all.
Gavin,
Quit,
you have to-
quit mooching off of.
You have
us,
to trust the
SGA.
process. This is us turning. We're becoming a shell corporation where everyone's podcasts are just kind of all together. It's run by the same people, but we act like they're separate in person.
Yeah, of course.
And we'll make so much money. We'll make a
so
lot of
happy.
money. No, we're not actually going to do that, but I do love that. I do love that Snapchat story. It is some of my favorite.
I'm gonna have to look at it.
It's some of my favorite content. It's just it's the perfect, if you wanted to give a freshman like, hey, what's Point Park like? I would just send them the Snapchat stories and be like, just look at these for a couple of months and just buckle in because it's a fun ride.
Yeah. Oh my god! Just to put a button going back on the mental health thing real quick.
Oh yeah, sorry, we
you're
jumped
good.
around a lot
Hey,
there.
you're good. I just wanted to like finish it up.
Of course.
Of like, the event will most likely be on January 16th on Tuesday, and I don't know exact location yet. Probably Lawrence Hall 200 if we can get it, and it'll be before the SGA meeting, from 1 to like 3 or 1 to 2:30.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, we're inviting everyone we can. Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership people, CEOs, executives, the president, the board of trustees, students. We would love for you to be there. We'll be inviting you, and we'll be pitching, like I said, and this is like a short-term solution for a long-term problem. So we're gonna so what we're doing is we're raising money to get this contract therapist for all of next year. Well, let's just say this. I did the math with Cassie, and contract therapists work roughly $50 an hour.
Okay.
If you do $50 an hour, and we did all this math, and they work 8 to 10 hours a week. Let's go with max at 10 hours. So if they do 10 hours a week at $50 an hour, that's $500 a week. Then she said that it would be like 10 weeks in the fall and 14 weeks in the spring, roughly.
Okay.
That the contract therapist would be needed to work, because they said the cast can run the office pretty easy over the summer without because it's less people, and it's 24 weeks total. So if you do that math, it's roughly $12,000 at 10 hours a week to raise. I said 10 because at the low end it's $9,600 for 8 hours a week.
Even number too.
Yeah, so I just said 10 grand, and then we can do something with it. So
Yeah.
if we don't hit that number, we do have a contingency for Better Mind. It's something like BetterHelp.
Okay.
That gets free therapy sessions, and also just more online video to get you in faster where you need to be.
Yeah.
So that is really something like a passion project that I got going on right now in SGA, and I know we'll be putting a resolution on it when we come back.
Yeah.
But this really needs to be addressed. I mean, I mental health is a serious issue.
It is.
And it stems from every aspect of life.
Of society and life.
Yeah, from stress to
Dude,
family life, relationships, personal life, professional life, your career, making enough money.
Something
making
is
too much money.
Something as small as that's my problem. Anyway,
making not enough money.
It got me just. I swear to God, and I've never really experienced this before this year, but like just the seasonal change, just like
It has an effect
when it gets dark at 5 when it gets dark at 5 p.m. my brain's like, fuck man, the day's over, like it's done, like it really messed me up. Well, like if we're gonna like actual long-term solutions for the mental problems here,
I figured it out with
long-term solutions, lower tuition, so people don't have to work a full-time job sometimes, and also be going to school.
Well, that'll never.
And figuring out if you're going to talk about
that's coming from SGA saying that to you, which is sad.
Yeah.
Well, that's the sad reality. Is like a
We're
lot
just
of the
being
long-term
realistic.
solutions, like lower tuition.
They just raised tuition.
More.
Again.
Yeah, they did
raise
again
it every year. They raise it. Yeah, it's public.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they raise it. They raise it like every couple of years. So
They're raising it again.
I think they already did from last year. So
That I didn't even know about.
yeah, so
Well, that's good
I'm
to
pretty sure
know.
they just raise it every couple of years. That's just something that not only Point Park does, but every university.
Every university is going to do that.
So I mean,
Yeah.
that's not a surprise. I will say though that the long-term solution that we found with I talked to Cassie. I said Cassie, if you were the president right now, what would you say? Like, what would you address? And what would need to be addressed in your office? And she said, obviously, a full-time licensed therapist.
Yeah.
Why licensed? Because there's doctoral trainees under her that help with getting students the mental health that they need. And if they bring on another licensed therapist, then they can bring on more doctoral trainees and have even more staff available. So this contract therapist thing is a short-term solution for a long-term problem, but I think is extremely important. But that is like something long-term that we need to address.
You know what's actually kind of crazy is that Point Park has a psych department, and there's no sort of like work study to become a therapist or to like help out.
Yeah, you can't even get.
There doesn't seem like there's any.
Program.
It doesn't seem like there's any pipeline in between like the psychology program. I know a lot of people that want to become therapists of different kinds. And it's crazy to me that there's no sort of connection there. Like that the university can't go, hey, we'll help you get some sort of certification, or we'll help you get some training hours, or you can sit in and observe. It's like something like that. Like there doesn't seem to be anything of that nature.
Yeah. I don't think so either, to be completely honest.
And maybe that wouldn't work. Like maybe that's just like an idea that's good on paper, doesn't work in person. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like, you know.
Yeah.
But
It's a short-term solution for a long-term problem.
yeah, that's okay. I mean, you need to do something in
yeah,
the short
something
term.
now.
You got to do something
So,
now.
I mean,
And I'd love to help promote that.
yeah, no, don't worry. I'll be reaching out to everyone, like literally today or tomorrow.
Okay, sweet.
so don't
Probably
worry.
reach out to all the club presidents, treasurers.
Yep.
See if we can get
The bridge chapter could host a mental health discussion.
Yeah.
If that would be something cool, we'd love to do that. We
Awesome.
can show up. We'll get pizza and drinks.
Yeah, we have
and
some other
stuff.
small things like cinema therapy, where
Sure.
we're trying to like watch a movie, have some popcorn, and
Yeah.
bring some people together and talk about things. Create like end the stigma a little bit. I mean, and now, granted, I talked to some administration people here. They think, well, here it's been really destigmatized, and you could say yes, but
I would say that there's still kind of like a bit of a stigma,
Yeah.
though.
Absolutely.
I would say that there's
Always
still,
absolutely,
yeah,
but also, it's a bubble. Can't forget that.
it is.
So when you look at our university, it's a very liberal university, probably one of the most liberal universities.
Yeah, I
So
imagine
that's
this
something
is-
to keep note.
Yeah.
If you go 45 minutes to Beaver County, where I live,
Mm-hmm. Different story. You don't even have to go that far
Yeah.
out. You don't even have to go
No,
that
I'm
far
saying
out.
Lebanon or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah, you have to just go.
So
The blue part of Pittsburgh is just like the actual
Mhm.
city. As soon as you,
Yeah, no,
as soon as
I
you leave,
I hear you
Go
though,
to the
man. So
borough.
it's
like,
red immediately. But so
Yeah, that is just kind of like what we're working on. We'll keep you updated on it. Trevor, I don't know if you wanted to talk about Adobe. I know.
Yeah, I wanted to get in
yeah,
that next,
I
yeah.
can talk about Adobe. Well, as many students have come to find out over the last couple of years, they do not have at-home Adobe access through the Adobe Cloud platform that we have. They can access it on university computers in the computer labs, the Mac labs, and such. However, we have found that this policy is not does not work for a lot of our students. So I set out to, along with SGA, to fix this issue and perhaps provide at-home Adobe access. I contacted I contacted deans in all of the schools as well as department chairs to figure out what courses need Adobe access. Turns out everyone in the school communications is going to need to use Adobe at one point or another.
yeah,
Yet they don't have
a lot.
Yet they don't have at-home access, and this policy, also in my opinion, I feel like it is unequitable towards commuter students and
Absolutely.
borderline discriminatory towards commuter students.
Yeah.
So I gathered the numbers. We have about 500 to 700 total students. Most of them are in about 300 in the comm, 223 in cinema, and about 68 in theater production.
Okay.
So about 500 total that, 500 to 700 that absolutely need
Yeah.
Adobe access. So we went over the pricing, and we're going to ask the administration what we can do about this.
Yeah, and I think some people forget sometimes too. SGA's job is not to fix the problem. It really isn't.
No.
It is to put pressure on the people in power to fix the issue.
Yeah.
I think that's a big distinction.
You guys are doing a lot of fixing stuff, though.
Oh, and without a doubt,
You guys are
Without a
helping.
doubt.
You guys are helping to
don't
fix
worry.
a lot of stuff.
But I'm saying that that's not exactly how it should be.
Yeah, we
Agreed,
should be
yeah.
doing all these other
Like, sure, we can
departments'
take some
jobs.
credit for that push, but we're not supposed to do all that like labor work. Like
No.
for IT, I created that survey with him because I was working with him. Cause I said, you know what, I'll do this for you. Now do something for the students.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and on Adobe, like Trevor's absolutely right. We actually called Adobe a couple days ago to get some
Wednesday,
university pricing
Mm-hmm.
on how this would be. I think for 500 it was 70,000
A year.
for a year. Yeah, 70,000 for 500 licenses.
Okay.
So that would mean like every individual person would be given that license in those classes.
Yeah.
And I just did it for fun. The numbers for all full-time undergraduates was roughly like 2,400. and it was absurd the amount of
Like
money.
300,000.
Yeah, it was over six figures easily.
I mean, we could ask, but
So-
they're probably not.
Yeah,
gonna
it's
go with
between
that
like
option.
5 to 700 is roughly between 70 to like $85,000.
Okay.
Like $90,000, which is doable in some way, right? So the normal thing people would say is, well, there's going to be a fee added. Potentially, that is one option. Like for the students who need it can pay that fee.
Yeah,
Sure.
that
Or
is a big concern. I don't want students that
Mhm.
don't use it. I want art
Yeah.
and science students to be paying for something. That
correct.
No,
it's gonna
they
be
should not
addressed.
be.
Yeah.
are
They should not be.
using, Yeah.
I would say that you should open it up to students that pay the fee for all students, because I would say that even SAM students need Adobe too for marketing.
Yes.
I was
Yeah.
thinking it would be more of an opt-in fee.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like everyone can get it if you want to pay
And then
for
we
it.
can,
you can,
and then we can
yeah.
adjust licenses per year. So I think that's something we're going to
Yeah.
talk to. We have a meeting with Bruce Alice next week, and we're going to we're bringing this stuff up to him. So absolutely. So that's interesting to know.
That's interesting because the SGAM
Program.
department chair
Oh.
has told me that they don't need it. So that's
Well, they say they use Canvas. And
okay. So they don't. Okay. Yeah,
It's not required.
it's
though,
not
for
required,
class.
but it'd be very
it
beneficial.
would be very beneficial for people who are
Mhm.
exposed to marketing.
Yeah, and even just like for people to have it. Well, the crazy part is that they took away Adobe Access for the esports program.
Wait,
The week before our season started this semester, and it took us a while just to request our Adobe accounts back, and we can't even use them at home. There are a large number of people on the esports crew that were recruited to come here for esports that are paying for their own Adobe
I know
accounts
I know.
so that they can use it at home. It's like, guys,
Mm.
if you're at Point Park, you're a part of an athletic program that needs Adobe. We use Adobe every single day. We use Adobe for hours at a time every time we're in the room. We're editing videos, we're doing this and that and the other thing.
Even me, I'm an acting major. I do video editing. I use
Yeah,
the
like
Adobe
a lot of
programs.
people here are using
But
it.
all of hustlers. I think we talked about this before. Hustle
Hustle
culture
culture
here.
at Point Park.
For
Listen,
real, it's real.
listen, because I know Andrew Tate listens. This is the real Hustlers Universities, Point Park. This is the real
Sure,
Hustlers.
I don't know
University.
anyone that doesn't have a side business or trying to make money.
Everyone has a side hustle here.
I have
A
an
lot of
Etsy
them-
store.
Yeah. Yeah.
I sell Star Wars specialty T-shirts.
Fire. No, but like that's the thing. Like everyone has a side gig that
Yeah.
they're doing that they need Adobe for. And again, I get that you can't provide it to everyone. I understand that. I think if there was a fee that you could opt in for, that would be. I think that would be
That'd be
acceptable.
optimal,
Yeah, you'll be seeing a survey come out, but it's not going to be like a regular survey that we put in the past. It's going to be a survey like, okay, these answers will have real effects.
Yeah, so
Like-
take it
like-
seriously.
like-
Don't.
Yeah,
just-
like,
Yeah,
do you want like we'll obviously craft the questions better, but like
We're
do you
being
want-
very strategic with our questions.
Yes.
We don't want to be leading because if we just say, "Do you want Adobe access?"
everyone's gonna say yeah.
Hell yeah, I want access.
yeah,
Free
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
But
we've
it's
been
not.
talking-
It's not free though. Nothing is.
No.
And we've been talking with Chris Johnson, who is our institutional research guy. He does all of our data, has all of our surveys and stuff like that, and he's gonna help us craft it too. So, and the questions we're gonna ask are like all around for all issues, but like, do you want to-go boxes to come back in the dining hall? Like specific things that are tangibly can be done, and then we're gonna take it back because. Obviously we were elected by the students, we represent the students, but we want to get the students' input completely
Yeah.
before we just go forth on certain things.
Yeah, that's I like that. That's good. We need that kind of stuff. To-go boxes should come back in the dining hall, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's because I'm a content creator now, and everything is content. So I think we could review dining hall food live on the show. If we had takeout boxes from the dining hall,
That is
we could
so good.
we could review the new turkey burger. They took away the turkey burgers. That's still a thing.
Those
Gavin
were good, yeah.
Gavin used to Gavin crushed turkey. I mean, I had a couple. They were good. Like freshman year turkey burgers, whew, they were good. I can't believe they took those away. But it was always the night crew. It was the night crew at the cafe.
We made the sauce for the chicken tenders as well.
Ooh, yeah.
Crafty.
Yeah, they were doing some crazy stuff. It was good.
We're currently talking about extending the dining hall hours from the 2 to 4 hours.
That needs to happen.
Yeah, no,
It needs to.
Yeah, just completely opening it up. So it'll be open from, I believe, what is it, 11?
I believe so.
All the way until it closes at 8. So that
I mean,
2 to 4.
that's how it should be, right? Like that's how it should be.
I agree with you, but this is what Christy said. Christy said, you know, we have to have a give and take. There's the staff and stuff, and on one side I get it, but the second side, like, if you have one dining hall on campus, one dining hall,
Yep.
you should have it open
Yep.
the whole time.
Yep.
I don't think that's acceptable at all.
Because there are points during break, during long weekends, if there's a day off, where the dining hall is closed all day, the cafe has limited hours.
And if you use your boost swipe,
students, they're going to use
you can't use it again. And then,
exactly.
yeah.
They limited the number of boost swipes you can use at a certain amount of time. If you don't have flexo, so it's like you are forcing students to live on this campus freshman year, and you are providing them with 2 food options: the cafe and the dining hall. And if you close the cafe on Saturdays or for certain times, and then the dining hall has restricted hours, if those students are working jobs, if they have projects, if they don't have time, then those students cannot get access to food on campus.
And if you're
that
forcing
can't
students
happen.
to go to the dining hall, it should be open. Period.
Listen. I don't know
Period.
about this give and take thing. You've got to hire more stuff. You got to figure it out.
Well, it's
students
she says that we are competing with ourselves.
What in the world does that even mean?
Meaning, if more people are in the cafe, then they're losing money upstairs or something. I honestly should probably ask that question more specifically when I talk to her again. But that was kind of the argument there. Laugh. It's funny. It is kind of funny. But I don't know how to address it. I don't know how to address it just yet. So I'm trying to continue to talk to her about it. But like,
do you all understand yet? Do you all understand why this university has driven me to the brink of legitimate insanity? Has it become obvious to any of you yet? I have people that are like, what Point Park's not that bad. It's like, listen, Point Park, competing with ourselves.
I feel like when
Jesus
they try and
Christ.
get you here, like when you come and visit, they make it seem like it's like this paradise university, and then it's just not.
I mean, I think that's how
That's how every university is.
how
To be
every
fair,
university is.
I do take a lot of shots at Point Park. To be fair to Point Park, take a lot of shots at them for things that are problems everywhere. A lot of the things that I have complaints about are not for things that are unique to Point Park. However, if someone says we can't open the dining hall because it would take away sales from the cafe, that should not be.
It's something along those lines. If your viewers are interested in like learning more like specifics on this,
Do I have to buy out Culinart too? How many
have
people at this place do I have to bribe with money?
you might have to.
Everybody.
If you go to Point Park SGA, our legislative body meeting has her like answering all of these questions in more detail.
Yeah.
So if you want more information on that, you
We
feel free
also
to go
have a
there.
culinary committee.
Yeah,
Gavin, what happened? Gavin saw something that Gavin was doing a giggle.
Typical Market Square behavior.
Oh, what happened? Oh wait, what?
It's in the chat.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, I know this is terrible for the people that are watching. Sorry, I just got to see this real quick. What is this? It's just some guy.
Some guy in Market Square.
It's just some guy. What is he performing?
No, look at the crowd.
There's like no one there. It's
No,
like
the guy dancing.
I know there's a guy dancing. There's a guy just dancing in front of a guy playing a guitar. Who even knows? Market Square is genuinely. You could have a reality.
I love it.
You could
I
have
love Market
you could have a
Square.
reality TV show about a lot of places in this
Yeah.
country, but Market Square would be particularly good. There's a lot of funny stuff going on there. There was always like a chess. There's a guy that's like a chess hustler.
Yeah.
There's always a
Famous
guy that's
Rob.
a chess hustler there, trying to play
I
people
him
in
all the
chess.
time. I practically like. I don't live in Market Square, but I
That's
was in
hysterical.
Market Square a lot over the summer and just whenever it's nice out in the fall. And I played chess all the time. Yeah,
That's hilarious.
They're crazy.
Market Square is
Yeah.
great. I go there all the time. I go there for Noodles Company. That's it.
And
Really?
these dudes are like
I-
legitimately good chess.
Yeah, a lot of them are. A lot of them are, and that's how they get people. They They're good.
I bring a lot of chess members from chess club here at Point Park over there to Market Square and introduce them to these hustlers.
That's hilarious.
And
I love
I
that.
love whenever they play them because it's so different that you get a whole different experience. It's like
Yeah.
you're like kind of nervous sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I was nervous when I first started playing over there when I was a freshman here, and I was so nervous to like go up there and be like, can I play a game? Like $5. I'm like, yeah, I got you. Lost like probably like $30 like in total, but then I gained it back 'cause I started to bet too, and I got really good, and like
Chess
I think Rob
betting.
owes me like $10 right now.
I mean, that right there could be an episode of the podcast. Chess betting in Market Square with Marc
Yeah.
Palombo and this random
No,
guy.
I talk to people all the time while I'm just playing chess. Oh, that'd be
That is-
perfect.
That is
Just
awesome.
come to Market Square and you can have a conversation. I'll just like keep playing all these people.
We could do that. We could play chess on here. Listen, I'll say this: my chess skills fall off in the late game.
And
I'm pretty decent at controlling the board in the early and the mid game,
that's
and
good.
as soon as the late game happens, I crumble.
Yes,
Is usually what
yeah.
happens. But I have fun playing chess.
Endgame's
Chess is
the
a
hardest
good game.
thing because you there's so many different options.
So
like,
I mean,
to
that
do.
game is
It's my favorite.
You want to talk about legitimately probably the greatest game of all time that's ever been invented?
Chess?
Yeah, I mean, you can
I
make
guess
the
so.
argument. You can make the
I play
argument.
chess every day.
You can
still.
make the argument that chess is the greatest board game that's ever been invented.
I'm a little sad that I had to focus on SGA so much this year that I had
Didn't-
stepped down from my position on chess club.
yeah.
But like I founded it, but I'm still involved. I'm the treasurer, so I handle
Okay.
the finances.
Okay,
just 'cause
sweet.
it's so like loosely with me.
Yeah.
Here, but like I haven't been able to run it, and that's something that I kind of wanted to touch on maybe a little bit later. Kind of transition. How does a club? How does an organization? How does a podcast transition over? If you have, I know you're probably going to take this podcast, with you wherever you go in the future. But as for an organization, how do you transition Bridge USA to the future leaders of Point Park University?
Oh gosh, I have no plan. I suspect that it will just
Nobody usually does.
Honestly, I suspect that it'll just fizzle out when we leave.
That's not
Because-
the
All
way
three
it
of you
should
were
be.
juniors, right?
Huh? Yeah. Caitlin's a senior. Caitlin's
Oh,
graduating
yeah,
this
yeah,
semester.
yeah.
But we were the ones that started it.
Yeah, that's not the
And
way it should be. Carl.
I've had no one. I mean, I know that I'm biased, but especially for a Bridge USA chapter, it should not die at this university. I don't. But I think I don't know how to. I don't know how to transition it. I haven't met anybody that's been willing to like jump on the executive board and look into
this
taking
is
it
how
over.
it works. You have to create some type of document. We call them turnover reports in SGA that explains what the role, duties, and responsibilities are of being the president, of being the vice president, of being the secretary, of the actual roles, and then sharing your experience, your wisdom with those future leaders, because that is the only way they'll understand previous knowledge and how to go forth.
Yeah,
and
we have
then you have to also make it extremely known and important to say how you transition, how you move on to the next step. It is the most important thing. Other than your club or organization will crumble. And I kind of made that mistake a little bit. I mean, with Chess Club this year, but I mean Samson Allen, who's the current president, they have done a fantastic job, I think, still. But I've learned from this whole semester on transitioning, and that's actually what's going to happen in the next president's
When
meeting.
you're a new organization, your first 2 years are basically just building the organization. I've learned that through Shalom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to build it right now, make sure it survives.
Yeah, I don't. There's right now. There's no guarantee that it survives whenever I leave, and I kind of knew that whenever I stepped in. I was like, chances are,
Come
I'm
to our
gonna
next
run
president's
this.
meeting.
We have a lot of
Yeah, I wasn't able to make it to the last one.
We're going to be discussing how to transition, the steps to do so, and how to do it most effectively.
SGA has a lot of political science, like freshman political science
Yeah.
majors. Maybe I can talk to them about it.
Yeah, I mean, I would love
At least
to.
on your aspect.
The poli sci
Talk to
people,
Caleb.
huh?
Talk to Caleb McCartney. Was he interested? I thought
That name
introduced-
sounds
I introduced you
familiar.
to him at Pizza with the President. Remember?
Oh, Caleb. Yeah,
With the camera.
he's the photo collective.
Camera guy. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't talked to Caleb in a bit, but
he would be someone who might be interested in that.
he expressed some interest. Yeah, and I haven't, to be honest, I haven't done a great job at outreach to the political science people, but there's not really a formula for small. I have other friends that are running chapters at small universities. None of us have really figured it out yet. No one's really found a formula. We're going to try something a little bit new next semester, something more media based, but
And nothing's guaranteed either, right?
no, none of it is.
So when you do transition, sometimes like SGA will be good sometimes, SGAs will be bad sometimes. There'll be upticks in certain clubs. We used to have a rugby team here. It was huge.
And an ultimate frisbee club that I don't think is a thing anymore.
Yes.
Dennis McDermott tried to start the frisbee club.
Yes. And we had the rugby club in they did their matches in the gym floor.
Yeah, that was big.
And now it's a dance studio. So whenever things die, spaces, people, everything gets repurposed.
Into dance studios.
It does.
Yeah,
Honestly.
it's a dance studio.
Let's be real
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
Anything
yeah.
that they can't find use for, like, let's just run its course.
Another
Let's
dance
make
studio.
it a dance studio.
Another dance studio.
So
But,
that's just something to keep in mind.
Bridge USA had a lot of growth this year, so
Yeah,
as
good.
much as it's neat, we had 34 new chapters this year.
Wow.
Yeah, 34. Yeah, so now there's
Do you know how many you lost or how many that didn't continue?
I don't know.
That
They,
would be-
they
I would like to know
They
that
did like their Bridge USA Wrapped for like
Oh, really?
But yeah, they did that on Instagram.
yeah, we're going
for,
to be
like,
doing that. We're going to be putting that out in December.
34
our
new
semester.
chapters. They're bringing in 2 people from each chapter for Summit this year, so unless we recruit somebody, it's just going to be me and Gavin. But if I had to guess, there could be 200 people this year. There could pretty easily be 200 people.
Trevor, did you want to talk about the Ohio Student Government Summit?
Yes. The Ohio Student we're going to the Ohio Student Government Summit in late January, around January 20th. The student government, the USG, United Student Government of University of Akron, correct? Their chief of staff reached out to us and invited Point Park Student Government to attend the summit at their university with all like Ohio student government,
As well as like
some
Pennsylvania,
Western
our
PA.
side here.
I think the only 2 Western PA schools invited were like us and
Chatham.
Chatham.
Yeah. But like it's kind of cool. We're sending 8 of our senators
Nice.
over there.
So you're gonna have them. You're gonna send them into Ohio.
Yeah.
You're
We're
gonna
never gonna see them
voluntarily.
again.
You're gonna
I'm kidding.
voluntarily send them into Ohio for a conference.
Yeah.
That's brave.
We're leading them in. We're
And
both
that's-
going.
This is completely and
This is your last time on the podcast. You guys are going into Ohio.
Ohio doesn't even exist. No, I'm kidding.
I
Dean-
love-
Dean Palo has really supported this initiative and has helped
Yeah.
pay for this. I mean,
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, because it's not like cheap to send almost 10 people to anywhere.
You guys gonna like bus?
Yeah, it's a 2-day conference, so we're gonna be staying overnight.
Wait, so are we the only exec cab members going? It's just
No,
8
no,
senators.
we have
I thought it was
4
10 people that were going.
No, there's 8 of us. So there's 4 senators,
Oh, 4. Okay.
and
yeah.
then there's you, me,
MC.
MC, and Catherine, our president pro tempore.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
Do I get as your biggest donor? I'm kidding.
Yeah,
not
of course,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna go into this bit again. Anyway.
You
I was
Yeah.
ready
That's
for
a
it. I was
private
ready for
a
it.
private jet, man.
Yeah, I
You
know.
should
As a
We should
donor,
roll
like
up
we're
there in
like,
style.
yeah. Why do we gotta take the bus?
hook people up. We'll get a clown car. We'll pile everybody in.
Yeah, have clumsy clown drive.
The
us
not
there.
just politics clown car, and I'll wear the clown costume, and I'll drive you all over there. And,
Too funny.
yo, that's interesting. I didn't know that was a thing that like another university would invite you guys.
Yeah,
Is the
no.
point just to like talk about student government
Yeah,
and like
so,
how
so
to?
it's kind of you're able to talk about the issues on your campus as well as issues on other
Okay.
people's campus, as well as like just like learning leadership skills. Leadership, like speakers will be there.
That's
You can
cool.
Ask questions. Yeah, it's really really nice conference to be able to like. I'm in contact with people at Chatham University and their student government, and I've been in tight connection with them to like see like how did they like it last year. They said they really liked it a lot.
Good.
So hopefully they'll be going as well. We'll be taking, a bunch of photos. Hopefully the people, the senators that we have that just got here can get a nice, like, baseline of, like, you can meet other people in this. It's not just following one voice. And I've been trying to tell senators, and I think they finally understood that just because we're leadership doesn't mean we know everything.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
we do not know everything.
Like, we make
Actually,
mistakes. Call
yeah.
us out on.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we actively try our best, but that does not mean we're right all the time. And I think finally the senators are getting it after a semester of like voicing their own opinions, voicing exactly
good.
like what. And now it's like
You
a
need
real
that.
student government where like Yes, we have debates, we have arguments, we have disagreements, but that's good.
You need it.
That's good.
Yeah,
it's
it is
not
good.
just
Good
one
for
voice.
governance. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
you do need it. Yeah.
So that's probably one of the most things I'm so proud of that happened this year.
And I think it'll be interesting, for at least for this Ohio Summit. I anticipate most of the other schools just setting their cabinets.
Do you?
Well, yeah, that's what I anticipate.
Maybe.
At least. If,
Yeah.
if they're only restricted to like 10.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
just thought-
ideally, if you wanted to, you could have just
Yeah.
had our entire cabinet, which rounded out at 10. So I feel like many of the other universities are going to do that.
Maybe. I just
We'll
thought.
have the senators getting that experience
Yeah.
with all the
That's
other
cool that you guys are
members,
sending
so,
some
yeah.
senators.
Well, the
That's
reason
cool.
I did that is because like we're not gonna be like our cabinet is all mostly seniors, and we're not
Yeah.
gonna be here forever.
Yeah.
We need a concrete plan. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We need a concrete plan on transitioning. So I might even make a damn video.
Mark might make a
Hey y'all, this is how you run the Student Government
do
Association.
a
If you're
TikTok and like
watching this
dance
video,
while
you've been
you
elected as the president of SGA.
Yeah.
do a TikTok and like do a
Oh, yeah.
dance while you tell people.
Congratulations on being elected.
Yeah.
But something, right?
If you're seeing this, it means that I've been ousted. That could be your
What are
video.
you seeing this?
Yeah.
I have been
They
impeached.
stormed the Capitol.
Oh,
They
God.
wa-
SGA office.
They stormed
They
the-
stormed the SGA office.
Yeah.
They took my podium. A School of Com student in the Buffalo Horns.
Yeah.
Stole my
The Bison
stuff.
Exchange stole our spot.
Black Diamond came in here and took all of our shit.
Oh gosh, that's funny.
That is funny. Oh my goodness. Yeah, well, that is good though. That is actually really good that people are now understanding that they can actually be their own person and like have their own opinions and stuff. That's been a great thing. That's a great. No, I'm like not like trying to do an ad, like pitch anything. But like that's the great thing about Bridge USA is like they let us do whatever we think is best for our university.
Mm.
Like I told them, I was like, hey, I'm gonna pretty much abandon the traditional.
Did you ever do what we talked about?
No, we're working on it for next semester. We're
Okay,
gonna
good.
officially kick it off, yeah, because we got crazy like slammed with. Like,
I wanna be
finals work
involved.
and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I want to start doing. We're gonna start doing tabling and more podcasts and stuff. Because I figured I did the numbers and I was like, listen, if we do one podcast a month and I get
Did you
4,
tell Trevor this?
I don't know if I talked to you about this. Maybe you might have heard of it at some point. But if we do one of those Bridge podcasts a month, if I get 4 different people
Yeah, I think
every time,
Yeah.
then I've engaged 16 students over the course of the semester, which I think would be more students engaged than if I just did the usual bi-weekly meeting and half the time nobody showed up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right? It would just be a thing. We engaged right around 16 students this semester, but it was only because of 2 events, and one of them was a podcast. So if we just do 4 podcasts, or if we somehow, I don't want to like shoot, so I don't want to be like, we're going to do 10, we're obviously not doing that many, but like if we did 4 or 5, if we engaged 20 different students, based on the numbers, that's what we should be doing because that's engaging the most people. And it's open to students. Anyone can sign up to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And ideally, there's like a waiting list. So it's like, okay, we'll get you on next time. I have to make sure the ideological split is even and that kind of thing. But the national team was like, yeah, if you think that's going to be best, like we'll have to modify things on your end a little bit, but go ahead. Like
That
you
sounds
can,
great.
you know, so like, and that's, I've appreciated that. Like they let us do what we think is best for our universities, for our situation.
That does sound really nice to be able to like have trust in your leadership teams at the individual
Yeah.
chapter level.
It also helps because no one's older than like 25. That's running Bridge
Really?
USA. Yeah, the oldest,
Wow.
the CEO is the oldest person. He's 25.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
the CEO is 24. Yeah, that's a thing.
What are we doing?
I don't know. That's what I said. I was like, what in the world am I doing
Like
with my time? Like, what in the world? I don't understand how any of it ever happened. I genuinely don't understand how any of them. I know they
I
had a lot
really
of help
do.
from older people, but it's like, man, I genuinely don't understand how any of them made any of it work. Like, I genuinely.
Doesn't that make you feel like you can do anything though?
Yeah, I mean, it
like-
kind of
like-
does.
like
it kind of
Everything that was ever created here in the world was created by a human.
just some person.
Yeah, some
That figured it
random
out.
person who
Yeah.
goes to the bathroom and literally does everything the same thing you do. Eats, has to eat to live. Might have glasses, might have
Who knows?
Yeah, it doesn't
Astigmatism in
matter.
their eye. It
Like,
doesn't, you know what I mean?
So you can do anything you want to do if you actually are determined to do that.
Yeah, you can do it. Well, I told you this. The SG podcast didn't come out, but I did tell you on that episode that I think that at the end of the day, I'm going to make it work by just listening to Gary Vee. And I just hustle and grind. And I'll just hustle and grind and more hustling and grind. And it'll work. No, but genuinely, I even had those guys.
Go to Mark garage sales. That's guys. That's all you have to do. It's literally so easy. Like if you go to garage sales and then post it on eBay, you'll like make so much money, guys.
It's all about perspective. Kindness is delicious.
Like be fucking kind. Like
no,
I'm
he
so
says
sorry.
he says
I'm
the
so sorry
opposite.
if I'm offending you. Like be kind. Like
he's the opposite though. He's
higher.
He's like kindness is delicious.
Oh really?
And yeah, he's like I eat kindness. It's like this guy's out of his mind. It's so funny.
He's like,
but,
he's like, do I actually care about you, or do I give a fuck about you? Do I give a fuck about you, or do I like care about you? No, I want to give a fuck about you. Like that's how I speak. That's how I talk. Oh, I love Gary Vee.
This guy's out of control.
He's hilarious.
Oh, God.
Like the mom, like in that video. It's like,
Yeah.
why do you have to swear? It's like that's how I speak. Like that's how I communicate.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. No, but I even had those guys on my show. I interviewed the
You had
Bridge
Gary
USA
Vee? Oh, I'm
people.
sorry.
No, I wish. Oh my God, I wish. But I haven't had those guys on the show, and it's still I have no idea. It's still a complete mystery as to how everything got figured out. But is there anything else, gentlemen?
Anything else you want to say?
Anything else to update the people on?
I really don't have anything specific.
God, there's so many things though. We talked about the CARES project, talked about Adobe, we talked about Wi-Fi, we talked a little bit about Colin Art.
Yep. Covered all of the things.
There's always more things.
Any big collaborative events planned for next semester? Like you guys did that night in Village Park.
Yeah.
Was that you guys?
That was the health center, but we
Health
collaborated
center.
with them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
so
there
it was a
anything
co-op
like
event.
that planned for
I mean, the
next
only thing
semester?
planned right now, currently, actually, yeah, there's a couple things. I just talked to Rebecca again, and the university nurse, and we're going to be collaborating again on the Condom Carnival.
Okay, that's
Hey,
coming
we're changing
back.
the name back to Condom Carnival because, like,
I mean,
Covering
come on.
Carnival just wasn't a good name, even if
And
it
you
was
got the
supposed
brand recognition.
to. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, students are gonna want to. There's kind of like a meminess to it almost. It's kind of like, but it's a good thing. People should go out to it. They should attend.
Yeah, it's going to be during Sexual Health Week, and
Yep.
that like something that Rebecca kind of sets up. So we'll be involved in a couple events that she's putting on that week, including the Condom Carnival. Which I mean, she's not putting that on. Cab is,
Yeah.
but like we're involved with Cab on that, and as well as
Cab is the machine. Like,
Cab's
if you
events.
want your event, like that's the big one. Like getting Cab to put on an event for you. Like that's how you make it happen.
Yeah, no, we're not an event organization. We
No.
we want to get shit done.
Yeah.
You know.
That's the thing people want to really understand about Cab. Cab's the events, and like Mark said, we're here to get shit done.
It is called the Campus Activities
Yeah.
Board.
Yeah.
It is in the
That's
name.
all they do is events.
They do
That's
activities.
their function.
And like besides that, and like what I told you already, like the Point Park Cares project, like we're collaborating with not only the counseling center like really closely, but all Point Park offices will hopefully be involved in this. They'll be in attendance, and the goal is we'll bring a little bit of Greek life to campus, where on every Friday I'll have all of the offices, hopefully if they're willing, to buy shirts for their offices, for their people in the office, and then they'll be wearing them every Friday.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
We need stuff. We do need. There's a lot of little things like that you could add that just I do
It's
think
a culture shift.
Yeah, it
if you
is.
see it,
Yeah.
it changes your
Yeah.
mind.
There's
Even the littlest
there's so
thing.
much negativity sometimes around. there.
There is a lot of negativity, and I do think that is really gonna. If you're gonna change anything at this university, it does have to be a culture shift.
Yeah.
I do believe that is the way that you'd have to do it, because I feel like a lot of
It's a long-term issue, though. It's so ungrabbable. It's so
yeah, it's like you're always looking at the future.
It's like
and
mental health. It's like it's so hard
Yeah.
to grasp that issue, that culture.
Yeah.
It's like it's so in the ethos that like it takes time. It takes
Yeah.
a long amount of time. Different people have to maybe have to leave.
That's-
happen. People.
yeah.
Certain people have to come in.
Yeah, that's
Like,
that is
your
the
community creates the culture.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like you'd have to. It only works if the next generation comes up and they're willing to put in the work.
Mhm.
It's just a situation of like you can't let it go for a day. You have to take care of it a little bit every day, and eventually it adds up. I think that's a problem that our society is facing. I don't think that's just like a university problem or a.
Of course.
That's a problem of
Yeah.
our society. There's a lot of people that just, and I'm guilty of this myself. Like I tried to get myself back into a daily routine a couple of weeks ago because I got sick, and I was like, I got to get myself better. I got to do this stuff. It was a thing for like 4 days because I think that I can not do it for a day and then jump back on. Nope. You miss 1 day and then you miss 2 and then it's done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like you have to. It's the same thing with government and with democracy or with university. It's like you have to just do a little bit of that work every day in order for it to get better. Yeah. Well, gentlemen, thank you for sitting down today.
Thank you, Carson.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you, Gavin.
I have a lot of fun. We'll get a link for the website in the description. Awesome. People go check out the website.
SGA.pointpark.edu.
Yes.
And if you click on the CARES project, or actually SGA.pointpark.edu/care.
And then
you can go directly to there and purchase shirts, mugs, hats.
You guys have mugs?
Stickers. Yeah, stickers.
Oh, yeah.
I'll get a mug. I will get a mug.
Now, I will say the prices are as low as I can make them, but they're a little bit more than like your average mug because we're trying to raise money. So yeah, I understand though if you can't like get a certain item because of the price. I completely understand that. That's why we have like stickers, something more low cost that you can potentially purchase if you are interested in fighting this with us.
Yeah, and then right there at that camera, anything you guys want to pitch, any clubs.
This camera.
Yeah,
this camera.
yeah, the
Tell
hot
people
one.
what you got going on.
Well,
or this camera, or tell it straight to Gavin.
Yes, slamming the hot wings. No, but anything you guys want to promote, plug anything you want.
We've been plugging the whole time. I
You
feel
guys have to
bad.
plug it. No, that's what you're here for.
Yeah.
You're here to promote.
I'm here for you, Carson.
You're here to. I'm here for you guys to.
We're
promote
here
your
for
stuff.
you, Carson.
You're my friends.
To see you.
You're here to
thrive.
see me.
Yeah.
You're here to see.
I will say this: Shalom BSU DC trip.
Oh, nice. Okay.
$10 to hold your place. You'll get your money back when you get on the bus for the trip. It'll be on the 17th, February 17th, like 5 a.m. to like 11 p.m.
Yeah, bus leaves at 5, and actually you get your money back.
You get your
So it's
money
just-
back.
Yeah, that's great.
Just go to the sale office, give them $10 to reserve your seat. Fill out the QR code on the flyers and hot cards that we'll have around campus. And yeah.
For students that don't know, the sale office has been temporarily moved.
It's still in the same spot.
Oh no, Keely's
Keely's
office. That's right.
So if
Okay.
you don't know who
Exactly.
Keely is,
You're right.
she's like the coordinator of student involvement.
Yeah.
Her office was moved, but the sale office is still on the first floor.
That's right, okay.
Of the student center. You go in the back entrance. Currently, hopefully in February, the career readiness center will be done.
That'd be great. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Carson.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Have a nice day, everybody. We'll see you later.